Today I wanted to take a quick look at Red Dawn, the original 1984 war film, World War III type film. It was distributed by MGM, and it's actually considered the first film to receive a PG-13 rating by the Motion Picture Association of America. The script for Red Dawn was based off of an original short story written by Kevin Reynolds that was titled 10 Soldiers. It was later adapted by Kevin Reynolds and director John Milius. We have Patrick Swayze playing Jed Eckhart. We also have Charlie Sheen playing his brother Matt Eckhart, and this does mark Charlie Sheen's feature film debut. We also have Lee Thompson playing Erica Mason, and we have Jennifer Grey playing Tony Mason. This film also marks the first time that Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze had worked together. They won't meet up until 3 years later, working on Dirty Dancing, released in 1987. Before beginning filming, the actors did go through an 8-week military training, and it really does show they handle their weapons very well. They definitely look like they know what they're doing, which is kind of strange considering the fact that they're all high school kids. Most people don't go through that sort of training. There are a few hunting sequences, but I don't think people would be that well organized just from shooting deer. The production's design team also did an excellent job in designing the T-72 tank, which was used in the film. Apparently it was so believable that while transporting the machine through LA, taking it to the set, they were actually followed by 2 CIA officers wanting to know where it had come from. The film is considered to have been set in an alternate reality in which the U.S. is invaded by the Soviet Union along with Cuba and their Nicaraguan allies by way of Mexico. According to the film's introduction, the U.S. was more susceptible to attack after several nations had withdrawn membership from NATO. The film's main focus is a group of teenagers who flee into the wilderness. They do develop a set of tactics. They do defend themselves as well as fending off the foreign troops that have invaded their hometown. After some time, they do travel back into their town. They realize several members of the community have been taken to re-education camps and will very likely be executed. One of the persons who has been taken is Jed and Matt's father, and he does tell them to avenge him. We already know what his inevitable end will be. After leaving the camp, the boys and some of their friends in the group travel to the Masons, who used to be the Eckhart's neighbors. There they do find out that the U.S. is now part of occupied territory and they are in World War III. Jack Mason also does ask the boys to take his 2 granddaughters, Tony and Erica, to safety. One of the girls had been attacked. It's implied that someone had tried forcing themselves on her. Body language, according to the girl, does imply that something did occur. Together, the teens form an armed resistance. They refer to themselves as the Wolverines, after the school's mascot. Eventually, they do run across a downed pilot who does teach them, or better organizes their tactics. He eventually is lost during one of their battles. By this point, they've lost so many members in the group, they've decided to just make one last effort. So they go back into town. They decide to bomb Soviet headquarters. 2 members of the group do manage to flee into free territory. Unfortunately, Jed and Matt are lost during the battle. At the time of its release, Red Dawn was considered by the Guinness Book of World Records to have been one of the most violent films. And according to the National Coalition on Television Violence, the film is reported to have 134 acts of violence per hour. In response to this, the 2007 special edition DVD release of the film features a carnage count. The plot of the film, involving the Soviet and Cuban invasion, is actually based on CIA and War College studies, which at the time identified the weaker points of the U.S. by entry of Mexico. Red Dawn was also used as a code name by the military operation in Iraq, in which Saddam Hussein was finally apprehended December 13th, 2003. Obviously, director John Milius was very flattered by the usage. That is pretty much all I have for you guys today. I will talk to you later.